Now then folks, this is VFR Mitch. Welcome to the channel. Today's something a little bit different. Look at this little cracker. Absolute beauty. Just picked it up from Robinson's Rochdale. This is the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 in the Baker Express colour scheme. It's had a few accessories fitted by the dealer. It's got the short crash bars on it, it's got the tall touring screen on it and the alloy sump guard on it. I've got loads of accessories already ordered up, most of which have landed already, and I'll be fitting over the next week or two. It's done 23 miles at the moment. It had 13 miles on it when I picked it up, so I've done 10 miles. I've tried to keep it below 50 miles an hour, but it's an absolute little gem is this engine. Real gutsy little piece, just wants to pull and pull. So we're just giving it 5-10 minutes to cool down a little bit, and then we're going to be off again. So let's see how we get on. See you in a bit. Right, so off we go. So it's got 25 miles on the clock, not 23 miles on the clock. So let's get on with the show. Now I've got to treat the girl with some mechanical empathy. They do have to be run in. The first service is on 300 miles in the UK. It is already booked in for that 300 mile service, as there is a Royal Enfield 1 ride out from the local dealer in a little over a week's time. So I've got a week to get 300 miles on it and then have it serviced and ready for the ride out. Trying not to labour it too much. It is talking, it does pull. I have been trying to keep it around about 3,000 revs and go nowhere near sort of 4,000. It seems to be happy in most gears at 3,000 revs. It's in top gear now. Just had to check it's not got a gear indicator. So we're doing 3,000 revs, about 47 mile an hour indicated on the clocks. So I would have let it cool down a little bit cooler, but I don't want to be giving it a full wet wash when I get home. What I want to do, because I know I've got 300 miles to cover within the next week, a lot of those miles are going to be wet miles. So what I'm planning on doing is, as soon as I get it home, is to give it a dry wash with some Vulcanet wipes, just to get any dust and road grime insects off, and give it a good old polish with some Built Amber double wax. And I've got quite a few cans of Silkaline Pro Prep to get myself through. So what I'm going to be doing is giving it a bit of a clean when I get home, adding a layer of protection which will just make it a bit easier to clean come bath time next time round. Now I am going to try what's been indicated by Stuart Fillingham, which I'm sure most of you interested in Enfields do watch his channel. He's got some very good routines and evaluates some very good products. The Pro Prep I've already got, the Built Amber double wax I've already got, and the Silkaline bike cleaner I've already got. So basically I'm not going to be doing anything too different to what I normally do, other than the other bike, the VFR 1200X. normally gets a layer of ACF 50 applied a couple of times a year as well. Due to the amount of chrome on this, I want it to stay looking gorgeous. This one will not be getting ACF 50 on it. It won't be getting a massive amount of wet miles on it. Won't be going out in the wet purposefully, but if it rains while I'm out, then it's tough shit in it. I'd rather be out enjoying it than thinking, oh, I'm not going out, it might rain. It's not going to dissolve after all. But a layer of protection will help in the UK because we do have some horrendous weather here. Now I've just got to decide which way to go home. I'm now in Ripponden. I've got to decide whether to go through Ripponden, Triangle, Sober Bridge that way, or whether to go up over past the Fleece, up Ripponden Bank. It is quite steep up there, and I don't want to stress the old girl too much just yet, so I'm going to take the long route. Not wrong with that. I'm a biker after all, and the weather in front isn't looking too shabby as it stands, so we're going the long route. Now just to talk through a few of the accessories that I have sat in my garage at home at the moment. I've got the new improved genuine Royal Enfield touring seat, direct from India, delivered within 6 days. I've got a DNA air filter with the mounting plate, the air filter delete plate or whatever you call it. I've got some grip puppies that are going on. I've got some Motone Union Jack tank pads to go on, just to stop it in the area where the knees might rub. What else have I got? I've got some Speed Angels screen protectors, because I've heard that the screens on these are, I've not looked, but I've heard that they're plastic, and given the life of the bike and the cleaning cycles that it'll undergo, plastic does scratch and become a bit hazy through time. So I'm sticking some Speed Angels screen protectors on there just to help it keep looking its best. What else have I got? I can't remember. I will have some other bits for it, I just can't remember what the hell they are. Too many bits to remember. So that's the bits I've got so far. Oh, sorry, yes. Levers. I've got some Tech black anodised levers to fit. These original ones do look a bit baggy basement. It is nice to have some adjustment there just in case you need it. These aren't too bad actually. I could manage with these, but well, it's an Enfield, it's there to be accessorised, every bike's different. Sorry, I'm picking up a bit of noise. Don't know whether it's a combination of just the height of this tall fly screen against my open helmet, so I'll just close the helmet down. It is a torquey little motor, is this? Sounds gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Someday I might get an aftermarket exhaust. I've been looking at them. I'll just have to see how I go with this, because I do have a knobhead neighbour, and some nice neighbours as well, but I just don't want to upset anyone this early on. So we'll see how we go with this stock exhaust. It does sound absolutely glorious. I'm just getting used to the gears. They are very well spaced. Not to try the brakes yet. Don't want to because the tyres haven't been properly scrubbed in yet. And I know what you say, they don't need scrubbing in anymore, but maybe not. But these are the Seat Indian tyres on there. They're not some, what should we say, quality well-known rubber on there, which you can start riding normally after 3 miles. I don't know whether these are hard compound or soft compound. I know nothing about the brand of tyre. I know they do tramline a bit, and they're not the best tyres, and people do swap them out quite quickly, albeit cost of living nowadays. They feel okay to me so far, and unless they start upsetting me, which I don't think they will be staying on the bike until they need replacing. Little burbles I've got. Little wine, that wine is fantastic. Yep, thank you very much. Quite responsive. The throttle's very well fueled. I believe once you get the DNA filter in, leave it to run for 5, 10, 15 minutes just to recalibrate itself, retune itself. I believe the throttle response then is something else. Oops. Which the previous bike I've ridden is the Honda Cross 2, the VFR 1200X. That's got the indicators on literally the wrong way around. So I'm going to be doing that until I get a bit more muscle memory with this bike. It's going to be a lot more beeping of the horn instead of cancelling the indicators. There we are, a false neutral. I've had a couple of them so far. That is only to be expected until the chain stretches a bit and the first service, new oil in it, gearbox beds in. It's all new. We need to talk to each other. We need to get used to each other and make friends. So it's going to spit its dummy out occasionally over the first couple of 100 miles. It's not a problem. As I'm expecting it. I'm going to be cheeky here. I'm not going to go right to the front because when I took my advanced and I did that, I went right to the front to get away in front of the car that was to my left. The instructor quite rightly said, no, we don't do that. So I'm going to try not to do it. That little whine it's got is amazing. When you ease off the gas. Don't know whether you can hear it. Depends what gear I'm in. There we go. Yep. Here comes the rain. Am I going to get home before it stops raining? No, I'm not. Sorry, before it starts raining even. I'm going to catch some rain. I don't want to give it a full wet wash though, I really don't. Sneak through there. It actually rides the UK roads, and they are crap. They really are shabby, UK roads. There's bumps, some come manhole covers at worst. Obviously I've not been nearly over 50 mile an hour yet, but it's riding okay. It's riding pretty well. Camera stopped recording there, sorry about that folks. Yeah, the other thing that's going to take some getting used to with this is this bike's got a clutch. That's a steep hill. Previous bike that I rode was the DCT, on the DCT, so I've just got to remember this has got a clutch. I've only stalled it once so far by coming to a junction and forgetting to wind the clutch in, but shit happens and it is what it is. It was going to happen. Here's the rain.